And today's presentation again is by Laura Martin. So Laura.
Well, thank you so much, Linda. I am just so delighted to be here today, and thank you all for sharing your lunch with me. As Linda said, my name is Laura Martin, and I have worked for the Historical Society for over 32 years. But one thing Linda did not mention is I started when I was 5. So I just wanted to welcome all of you. I hope today you'll learn a little bit about some of the resources that we have at the Oklahoma Historical Society. And we welcome all of you to come and visit us. We would love to see you here, but I will get on with the program now. Okay, so the mission of the Oklahoma Historical Society is to collect, preserve, and share the history and culture of the state of Oklahoma and its people. We have a lot of information here at the Oklahoma Historical Society Research Center, and it would take more than 45 minutes to share all of everything that we have here, but I will do my best to hit some of the highlights. The Oklahoma Historical Society was founded in 1893 by members of the Oklahoma Territorial Press Association. We'll talk a little bit more about our newspaper collections later, but that is something that is extremely important as far as the date being 1893. And one of the crowning jewels of the Oklahoma Historical Society, and what I think is very, very unique, is that the Historical Society is the only institution in the world that is a Smithsonian and a National Archives affiliate. If you haven't visited our museum, we have a wonderful facility full of unique and artifacts from all over the state of Oklahoma. Since we are a National Archives affiliate, we do abide by their standards. Items and collections that we have are all humidity controlled. We have reports that we present to the National Archives in order to keep that affiliation. The Oklahoma Historical Society Research Center is located on the first floor of the History Center. A lot of people ask, where is the History Center? We're directly across from the Governor's Mansion. It's the big building with the airplane hanging in the middle of it. There is no charge to use our research facility. We get that question a lot because there is a charge for our museum. But if you are doing research, you can just tell them at the admissions desk, you are doing research and you can come on in. But there is no charge to use any of the materials at our facility. The Research Center is open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 4:45. We are closed all federal holidays. So if you have any questions about our hours, you can always look at our website, which we'll talk about in just a little bit, or you can call at any time and we can give you updates if there's weather closings or things for the holidays. The research division, we are extremely proud that we have 32 public access computers. These computers can gain access to the internet via Wi-Fi, which we have here at our division. We also have 5 tables. If you wanted to bring your own laptop, you could actually use the Wi-Fi within our facility. We have a lot of different institutional programs that are loaded on each and every one of these computers, which we'll talk about in just a little bit, but it really is a marvelous facility. If any of you attended or came to the old Historical Society and visited our old research division, you know that we had one computer, and that computer you were allowed 30 minutes on that computer, and it took 15 minutes of those to warm it up. So we are really excited about all of the computers. We do not have a waiting list, so you can just stay on the computers as long as you want and do research. A lot of the institutional subscriptions that you will find here at the Historical Society, we have an Ancestry institutional subscription. If any of you have ever used Ancestry.com, the Oklahoma Historical Society in about 2009, we partnered with the Ancestry. And so in order for us to, as part of our cooperation with Ancestry, we received an institutional subscription. Now, this will give you a little bit more than just the regular Ancestry subscription. And you can access that in the library for free. And you can find things anywhere from Dawes information, which are the final rolls for the 5 civilized tribes. There are a lot of divorce records, marriage records, and there's a lot of different probate records for the state of Oklahoma, and they are adding more materials every day. And as we add materials to this particular collection, sometimes the Historical Society will give you kind of a firsthand view via Ancestry, so you might be able to see things that people don't normally have access to. We also have access free online in the catalog. It's Fold 3. Fold 3 was originally created to be a military database, but there are so many resources that are located on Fold 3. Again, if you're looking for Native American records, such as the Dawes records, and they have all of the census records and application packets, which are on Fold 3. And there are also a number of marriage records and actual death records too. For the state of Texas, you will actually be able to find the actual death certificates for Texas. So there's a lot of different resources that we have as far as military records that you will be able to find on Fold 3 as well. These can include Civil War, Revolutionary War. So there's a wealth of information that you can find on this particular database, and you can access this all for free at the Historical Society. Heritage Quest, newspapers.com. Recently, the Historical Society partnered with newspapers.com. So you will be able to access the Oklahoma newspapers pre-1923, and some of those even after this particular time we're putting up on newspapers.com, but you will have access to the entire range of newspapers that is located in this particular database here at the Historical Society. Many of you may be familiar with the Gateway to Oklahoma History. If you haven't used this resource, it is a wonderful, wonderful tool. We have a number of historic Oklahoma newspapers pre-1923. In your handout section, you will find a flyer for the Gateway to Oklahoma History. You will find all kinds of resources. There are photographs, there are books. You will be able to find newspapers pre-1923, and all of this information is free. So if you haven't had a chance or an opportunity to look at the Gateway to Oklahoma, you might want to look at that, because there really is a lot of genealogical resources. And even if you're doing historical research, such as you wanted to know when perhaps a gas station was first built, there you can find a lot of information in the newspapers on that as well. In addition, we also have a historic YouTube channel for historic Oklahoma films, and these are a lot of fun. If you've ever been interested in maybe looking at old Foreman Scotty shows, or if you're interested in maybe Ho Ho the Clown, we had one of our patrons who was actually on the Ho Ho show, and we were actually able to find footage of her talking to Ho Ho. So if you're interested in that, we have a lot of really great information on this YouTube channel. And probably one of my favorite stories is we had a gentleman who was looking for film footage of his great-grandfather playing football at OU. We were actually able to find the information, find film footage of his great-grandfather playing football at OU, and we were actually able to take that to his birthday party when he turned 90, and actually show that to all of the family. So you never know, family, if you're looking for perhaps things of parades in Oklahoma, or maybe you're looking for things on the Ida B show, we have all of those on our historic YouTube channel as well. We also have a number of special collections that are housed within the Historical Society. One of the special collections that we have and traveling exhibits is from Institutions to Inclusion. This is probably the newest addition to the Oklahoma Historical Society Research Division. We created a finding aid of basically institutions in Oklahoma that housed individuals with disabilities. We also created an exhibit using some of those items, you will find historic information on Taft. You can probably see in our exhibit, we actually have a picture of the iron lung, and that is basically on exhibit right now in the research library. You will find a number of historical books and collections for this particular exhibit as well. We also have a number of historical collections that donors donate to our library. The William T. Hagen collection, if you're interested in American Indian records or American Indian books, this is a wonderful collection. And anything that is housed within our research library, you actually have access to. So don't think that we basically, anything you see, we are more than happy to pull for you. We're happy to give you those books or those collections, and you can find all of this located in our card catalog, which we will talk about in just a little bit. Within the collections also, we have over 6,000 oral histories. These can be oral histories from anyone who maybe they were some of the first settlers into Oklahoma City, or maybe even the state of Oklahoma. If you're looking for information on maybe Wild West shows, we have interviewed some of those. If you're looking for information on soldiers, maybe individuals who have been instrumental in basically being the forefathers of the disability movement, you will be able to hear information on these individuals located within these collections. We also have over 15,000 historic maps in our collection. These can range anywhere from plat maps to, if you're looking for fire insurance maps, maybe you're looking for maps on Indian Territory or Oklahoma Territory. But we do have on our website an Oklahoma Territorial map collection, which you will be able to view many of the maps that we have on our website. You'll be able to view thumbnails, and you can blow those up and zoom in and zoom out, and you can actually even print from those. One of the crowning jewels of the Oklahoma Historical Society as well is we have over 11.5 million photos within our collection. These photos can range anywhere from American Indian records, if you're looking for maybe Wild West shows, or you're maybe looking for information on agriculture in Oklahoma, historic buildings. You want to know maybe what street scenes look like in the early 1900s. Maybe you're looking for information on a specific historic neighborhood in Oklahoma, such as Edgemere. We would have information in these photo collections that you would be able to either come to the library and view. With 11.5 million, we are adding things to our Gateway to Oklahoma History all the time. We also have information on our QuadraStar system, which is our online card catalog. But with 11.5 million photos in our collection, it's going to take just a little bit of time to get those all uploaded and available to the public. So you are more than welcome to come in and use the Historical Society's research collections and peruse through the browse books for those. We also have recently, within the past 4 or 5 years, the Oklahoma Historical Society Library was very, very fortunate in that we received the Daily Oklahoman's photo morgue. So any of the photos that were released in the newspaper, the Daily Oklahoman, we would have those newspapers, and we would also have those photos within our collections. Many of those photos you will be able to find on the Gateway to Oklahoma History. You can search by topic. You can narrow that down where you're just searching photographs and not searching all of the newspapers. So it's a really wonderful resource if you haven't seen that and looked at that. And again, you will find a handout on the Gateway in the handouts. Newspapers on microfilm. The Oklahoma Historical Society is the newspaper repository for the state of Oklahoma. The first newspaper that we have in our collection is 1844, and that is the Cherokee Advocate. We have that in Cherokee and in English, if you're interested. We also have newspapers for all 77 counties throughout the state of Oklahoma. And they go all the way up to the present. So the first newspaper is 1844. The last newspaper in our collections would be 2022. We do all of our own microfilming of newspapers for preservation purposes. And now we are digitizing many of those records, soon to be available on newspapers.com. If you can't find what you need on newspapers.com, we also do have a very large collection of all of the newspapers here in the research library on microfilm. You are more than welcome to come in and view those records, and we have a wonderful staff that is here to help you find those. Also, we have a number of original documents in our collection. Many of these date back to the early 1800s. You can find a number of these within our manuscript collections. Manuscript collections will be anything from, we have governor's collections. If you're looking for maybe diaries, letters from the Civil War, letters from Vietnam. We also have a number of original diaries. One of the things that I like to read is Kate Bernard, who was the first female of Charities and Corrections. We actually have her original diary in our collection. And you will find a number of letters and collections pertaining information on the Daughters of the American Revolution. Or maybe you're looking for information on 1889ers, the 1889ers who settled in Oklahoma. We have collections on those. We have a number of different scrapbooks. If you're looking for scrapbooks, also within these, you will find a lot of very unique items. The Oklahoma Historical Society was very fortunate in that we received from one of the state registrars. It was a death register from 1908 to 1922 for the state of Oklahoma. And we actually have that in our collections, especially for Oklahoma City. We have indexed that. We have also made a transcription, and you can find a number of those on our website. We also have a very wonderful rare book room. If you're looking at many of the original documents, such as the Native American collections, which we'll talk about in just a moment, or maybe if you're looking at some of the original letters, or maybe you're looking at some of the diaries, we will ask that you use our rare book room. And this is a sample of what it will look like. And we have patrons use this particular room so the oils of our fingers don't damage the actual original documents. You can bring a camera in and take a picture of anything that you find if you do not use a flash. And we do also have copy machines available, and staff are always available to assist you with many of these rare and fragile documents. We have a number of rare books, one of a kind, in our collection. We have original lithographs from McKinney and Hall, who were some of the first surveyors into Oklahoma. And they actually did original etchings of a lot of the Native Americans that they saw within Oklahoma at the time. So that is one of probably the rarest books that we have in our collection. We have a number of books from 1800s. Within the Tulsa Race Riot, we actually have a book for a young girl who actually had her diary. So we have that in our collections for rare books as well. We have a number of plat maps, architectural plans. So if you're looking for information on maybe very early plat maps for Oklahoma, Sanborn maps, we have those for a number of the cities here in Oklahoma. We also have the original drawings for the Oklahoma State Capitol. If you're looking, if you wanted to look at blueprints, we have those as well. Something that I always find is unique within our collection is our Oklahoma Historical Society vertical files. These files contain anything from, if you're looking for maybe information on governors in Oklahoma, perhaps you are looking for information on maybe outlaws. Maybe your ancestor was related to Belle Starr, or maybe the Dalton Gang, or maybe you're just wanting to know about Oklahoma First. when the first parking meter was invented, when the first shopping cart was where it was located in Oklahoma. We have all of that information. The first Boy Scout troop was in Pawhuska in 1909. So all of this information you will be able to find within our vertical files. And some of the unique items you will find, you will find many Oklahoma towns that are no longer in existence. For example, one of the towns, my favorite town, is probably a little town called Bathsheba. And this town was created in the early 1900s. It was created by 33 women. These women allowed no males whatsoever in their town. They allowed no male bulls, no male dogs, no males whatsoever. Now, ladies, they said that this was due to the drinking and the carousing of men. And ladies, I don't know what this says, but after 2 weeks, 12 of their members ran away. So it is now considered a ghost town. But if you wanted to find out information about Bathsheba, you could do that within the vertical files, as well as many other towns and counties within the state of Oklahoma that maybe are no longer in existence today. We also have in the 1930s, Congress entrusted the Oklahoma Historical Society with a number of the original American Indian records. This is probably one of the collections that we are most proud of here at the Historical Society. This is the reason that we are a National Archives affiliate. The Oklahoma Historical Society, as I mentioned previously, we were founded in 1893. So that is before the National Archives. So when these records came to us, we took an oath to be the keeper of these records. They are housed in all humidity controlled environments. We do have the Dawes final rolls, which you can find on our website. You will find the index, but we also have these records microfilmed within our collection. There are so many records for Native American research here at the Historical Society. We have people all over the world that are coming to do research for American Indian materials. Most of these records will deal with the 5 civilized tribes, but we do have a number of different agency records. You will find Chilocco Indian School records. We have a very large collection of Chilocco Indian School yearbooks. You will find the Foreman transcripts, Grant Foreman. This will give you a wealth of information on Native Americans who were in Oklahoma. I also might mention, if you are looking for information in the Foreman transcripts or the Lytton papers, we have actually digitized both of those collections, and you will be able to browse those books page by page within the Oklahoma Historical Society's website. We also have a number of removal of restrictions. Many people do not realize that when the Dawes Commission came through, basically they were enrolling Native Americans for their allotments, that basically if you were half or more Native American, the government deemed you unfit to handle your own affairs. So they placed you in charge of a guardian. And basically what they did is they placed restrictions upon your property or items that you could sell as an individual of the tribe. So these removal of restriction records are basically documents that will be signed by the Native Americans who received the allotments, that basically it states that they are in charge of their own property, and they can actually sell the Indian allotments or part of the Indian allotments that they were received by the Dawes Commission. So these are very unique. Some of these can be very sad and very horrific, but it is very interesting to read some of those because it is all a part of Oklahoma history. Some of the other documents that you will find within the Oklahoma Historical Society's collections, we have an original copy of the 1880 Cherokee Nation Census for some of the different districts. So we have those. maybe you had a Native American that was in your family, and maybe they leased some of their land for cattle grazing. We have cattle grazing leases. We have doctor's reports. We have, if your ancestor maybe was a missionary into Indian Territory, we have those records as well. There is a complete listing of everything that we have within the American Indian Archives collection, and you can find that on our website under the Indian Archives collections. There is a wonderful catalog that our archivist Mallory Covington has put together, and you can browse through, and it will tell you roll by roll what kinds of records that we have in our collection. And I might mention that due to the fact that these are original records, and due to the fact that this information is located on our website, and we do have all of these records microfilmed. And if you come in to use these records, you are more than welcome to look at the originals. However, we will direct you actually to the microfilm first, because these are so old and we would really like to keep these in the best preservation shape as possible. We have a number of books within our library. One of the misconceptions about the Oklahoma Historical Society is that we only have books related to Oklahoma. We have books on all states in the United States, and some of the collections will be better, such as Texas and Oklahoma. We may not have a lot on Utah, but we do have a lot of books within our collection. We have over 5,000 family history books. If you're interested in maybe what your family was doing, or if there was a family history book that was donated to the Historical Society, you can find all of these located on the card catalog as well. County histories will give you a wealth of information, not only on the county, but some of the first people who were into the county and first people who lived within the state. So we always direct people here, if you're looking for schools or churches, or maybe the first postmasters, you'll be able to find a lot of great information within these county histories. The Historical Society also has a large collection of city directories. The first city directory we have in our collection is for Oklahoma City, and that is for 1889. We not only have Oklahoma City city directories, but we also have other cities as well. Ardmore, and if you're looking for Bartlesville, we have some information on those as well. You can find a complete listing of all the city directories and telephone books that we have in our collection on our website. The books, we have a lot of books that are stored in not only in the reading room, but also the closed stacks. And these can be rare, fragile, out of print books. So you will find, if you find something within our collections that you would like to look at, we can certainly pull those. As I mentioned, all of the materials that we have here at the Historical Society is available to the public. We are a non-circulating library, so none of our books can be checked out, but you can certainly utilize any of these materials within the research division. This is a sample of our rare book room. This is where many unique one-of-kind items are stored in our vault. These can be anything from Muskogee Indian Territory records to plat maps from 1907 for Grant County. There's just a wealth of information, but again, all of this material can be found by utilizing the card catalog. We have a number of census records. Actually, we have the complete collection of census that is available from 1790 to 1950. Many of these records now, individuals will use ancestry.com, which that is great. If you have other questions, we can certainly pull information for you from our microfilm collection. We talked a little bit about the newspaper collections. We also have a lot of pension and bounty land warrants for the Revolutionary War. The Daughters of the American Revolution donated that complete set to the Historical Society. So if you're looking for military records, we have a wealth of information for you to peruse through when you come to the library. We also have a number of miscellaneous microfilm. Maybe you're looking for ship passenger list. Maybe you're looking for Texas birth and death records. We have a lot of that material, which is on microfilm as well. The Indian Pioneer History Collection is a collection of over 244,000 pages of oral interviews that was conducted by the WPA. This was done under the guise of Grant Foreman. We do have a wonderful collection of oral interviews. We have a complete index. University of Oklahoma has also placed a lot of these on their website, and so you can look at these online as well in PDF version. The Historical Society's index is a little bit different and maybe a little bit more detailed, as it is done every name. It will tell you if there was maybe a church you're looking for, maybe a cemetery that was no longer in existence. You can find these all plotted in the Indian Pioneer History Collection. And we did speak about the Indian Archives collections and the WPA newspaper index. Many of these records are now, you will now be able to find available through newspapers.com, which we have the access to here in the research library. The photographs we mentioned, there's 11 million. We have photograph browse books. There are about 100,000 photos on our Quadrastar system and the Gateway to Oklahoma History. We have over 500,000 photographs currently located on this digital platform. Some of the other unique items that we have in our collection, many of you know, if you do genealogical research, that the entire 1890 census burned for the United States. The state of Oklahoma and Oklahoma Territory was very unique in that we did not send our territorial census to the Commerce Department, which burned in 1921. So the Historical Society has the original 1890 territorial census. We have done a complete index of that you will find on our website. We also have Smith's first directory of Oklahoma Territory. There are a number of Oklahoma County marriages that you will find located within the research division, as well as indexes for these documents that we have placed on our website. If maybe one of your ancestors made one of the land runs into Oklahoma and they maybe did not receive land in the 1901 land lottery, we have actually the actual cards that they pulled from the hopper for individuals who did not receive land. You will be able to find a number of those for El Reno and Lawton within our collections. We also have a very large collection of Oklahoma Penitentiary fingerprint cards. If one of your ancestors maybe served time in McAllister, we would have a picture of those individuals. It would tell you what their offense was. It would also give you fingerprints of their entire hands. It'll give you a full legal description and tell you a lot of juicy details about some of their crimes in some cases. We also have the 1896 Dawes applications, which a number of these individuals were rejected. You will find an index for those on our website, as well as school reports for the Dawes Commission and the Dawes Final Rolls Index as well. We mentioned family histories. The Historical Society is very fortunate in that we have a very large collection of cemeteries. We are right now in the process of going through a project that we are collecting all African American cemeteries within the state of Oklahoma. Felicia Vaughn is currently working on this. We have a number of African American resources. If you're looking for maybe the all Black towns, we have created a map of the all Black towns in Oklahoma. We have a number of vertical files and collections on some of the specific towns, such as Boley and Taft, and many, many others, first postmasters of these particular towns as well. So if you're looking for African American resources, I believe that we have scanned some of these documents, and you will find these in the handout section as well. If you're looking for military information, such as Confederate pension applications, or maybe your ancestor was in the Union Soldiers' Home, we have a number of those records here at the Historical Society as well. If your ancestor made one of the land runs into Oklahoma and received land, we would have those records that we can direct you to on microfilm. We also have a wonderful set of volunteers who actually created an index for all of the federal land tract books, and we also have those within our collections. We do a lot of research also with the Latter-day Saints Library. So as part of our cooperation with them, the Latter-day Saints has gone on an extensive microfilming project throughout the state of Oklahoma. So you will be able to find within these collections probate records for a number of the counties. You'll be able to find divorce records, some marriage records. If you're looking for land records, you'll be able to find these in some of these collections as well. And we mentioned the gateway to Oklahoma, so I'm going to just leave that with the handout. I think it's a pretty self-explanatory, but if at any time you cannot use the gateway, please feel free to call, and we will have wonderful staff that would be more than happy to walk you through that. I mentioned military records a little bit. We also have a number of letters and diaries from the military. We have as I mentioned, the Revolutionary War pension and bounty land warrants. We also have a number of records that are available for Arkansas and Tennessee. If you're looking for Confederate pensions, we have those in our collections as well. The yearbooks are probably one of our crowning jewels as well at the Oklahoma Historical Society, because these particular yearbooks range anywhere from colleges to junior high yearbooks. We are always looking for various collections. We have many, many touching stories about our yearbook collections. We had a number of people who had come in and perhaps they had never seen a picture of their mother. And we were actually able to help one gentleman who flew all the way from New Zealand just to look at our collections. And we actually were able to find a picture of his mother that he had never seen, and was able to see a picture of her from the OU College of Nursing. And it was very, very emotional and very, very touching. So we do a lot of family connections here as well. And some of the other items that we work with, and we do a lot of work with school groups. If you're interested in maybe having your school group, or maybe you have an organization, or maybe you just wanted to come in and look, we have a lot of people who do genealogy research projects, such as the DAR and some of the various schools around the state of Oklahoma. And so we can help you with that. We actually, through our research through one of the schools here in Oklahoma City, were actually able to connect a young man to his biological mother. So they brought the family in, and his biological mother came in, and his adopted family. So we had a lot of reunions here. We do a lot of crying here, but they're all happy tears here at the Oklahoma Historical Society. So it's a very rewarding place to work. And we have a number of collections for not only genealogy, but also historical records as well. And we have a number of authors who visit our research facility, who perhaps they're doing research on specific parts of Oklahoma, or maybe they're looking for all Black towns, or maybe they're doing information, researching information on the Tulsa race riot. So we have all of those records that we can certainly help you with. We have the complete Tulsa Race Riot Commission report if you're interested in viewing those collections. If you're interested in books, or maybe the Red River Wars, we have all of those records in our collection as well. So if you have, I think it's 12:40 right now. I can go on a little bit more here. Some of the marriage records that we have within our collection, we have a lot of Indian Territory marriage records. We have a daily Oklahoman obituary index. If any of you have ever used from 1947 to 1972, we have that index, as well as the microfilm that goes with those. I did mention earlier about the Oklahoma City Death Register from 1908 to 1926. And we also have a number of Oklahoma County marriage records, on our research library website as well. If you're looking for military casualty databases, the website is a wonderful resource to look at. We have an Oklahoma Military Hall of Fame exhibit. the website, I would say, is probably one of the best. We have a wonderful webmaster, Jennifer Towery, has done a fabulous job in helping us create this and getting these records up online for individuals. There are a number of different finding aids within the manuscript collections, and also Patricia Jones, who is our technical services librarian. She has done a wonderful job at linking books, so you might actually be able to view a number of books within our collections right from the library catalog itself. There's a lot of probate records. You'll find a number of indexes on our website. So we just encourage you to look at the website, look at the card catalog. If you ever have any questions, we are always here for you. We are very proud of our collections. We love to talk and we love to share. Linda's probably cutting me off right now. But if you have any questions, our staff is just absolutely fabulous, and we are here to help you, whether it be genealogy, historical research, Native American. We are here for you.
Well, thank you, Laura. You actually have a couple of questions that have been
Oh my
posted.
goodness. Okay.
So the first one is, what is the Quadra collection?
Okay. Well, that would be, see, I get all excited. I'm that librarian. That's that librarian in me. Okay. QuadraStar is the Oklahoma Historical Society's online card catalog. So if you were to go to www.okhistory.org/research, you can view the online catalog, and there will be a link there that says search catalog. When I say search catalog, you probably won't see it as QuadraStar, but that is our online card catalog. You can find any kinds of information in here, such as photographs and manuscripts and our Historical Society map collection. If you are looking for information on oral histories or county histories, you will be able to find that. It is a very wonderful resource, and it will state, we have several different parts of that. One of those will be our historical book collection. Some of those will be archives, which will include, as I said, that will be historic maps, but it will guide you through, walk you through if at any time you can't find what you're looking for, because there is a wealth of information and finding aids on there. We are always happy to help you with that.
Okay. And your next question is, are OHS newspapers on newspaper.com also in the gateway and vice versa?
Okay, that is a very good question. Okay, so the newspapers that we have on newspapers.com are going to be, and on the gateway are going to be pre-1923 right now. Now, you may have some older newspapers that you will be able to find on the gateway. As part of our partnership with newspapers.com, we are sending the rolls of newspapers to them. They are uploading those on newspapers.com. You may not directly be able to find all of the later newspapers on the gateway. And this is due to the fact that when we send these to newspapers.com, there is a waiting period that the Oklahoma Historical Society has in order to upload those onto the gateway.